Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new video. Today we are flying the Fenix Airbus A320 CEO with the CFM 56 engines and the slats. We're flying from Zurich to Madeira. I've had a YouTube comment. They wanted me to fly to Madeira. I'll put it on screen right now. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing today. So, without further ado, let's hop straight into the cockpit of our A320. So we've got the jet bridge connected. By the way, if you're wondering, the static aircraft is we're going to be using Beyond ATC today. But that's like an AI ATC. So we're going to turn on the battery 1, battery 2, and external power. Arm the evacuation lights. No smoking lights, nav lights, crew supply. ADIRS in nav. I'm going to reduce the game volume a little bit because I feel like it's going to be a bit too loud, so we'll report the sim brief. Mass imbalance, load aircraft will go fast loading. And yep, everything's opening up here. They're gonna load. I don't have GSX. So, let's head into the init page of the MCDU. Hello? What? This looks a bit weird. Do we have a WASM crash or something? Not sure why it's not responding. I'm really not sure what's going on here. Okay, now it responds. There we go. Now it should work. FMGC. Init. There we go. Init request. Flight number Swiss 28 Alpha. Put that in. Still requesting for... There we go. Requested. So head over to our OFP. We've got our OFP open right here. Cost index 5. Oops. Cost index 5. Cruise flight level, initially flight level 350, and then we'll step climb to flight level 370. After all, this is a 4-hour flight. So 350. Then we go to the next page, and we'll wait, I'm gonna probably have the frame gen bug because we're flying the Fenix. So, average wind component M012, that's minus 12 knots of headwind. So we'll put in HD 12. If it would be P in the OFP, we'll put TL and then the amount. Not sure if that makes sense. So, nope, wrong. ATSU. And com menu, wrong, nope. AOC menu, received messages, and we'll just accept this load sheet so that the message here of a message, that we have a message in our AOC that it disappears because it's kind of annoying. We'll always have it there. So let's see. Mass imbalance, we're still refueling. Once we finished our refueling, I'm going to turn on the fuel tanks and I'll start the APU. So for now, I'm gonna open sim brief actually. Let me open sim brief, import the flight. There we go. Turn on all EFR charts. Okay. Okay, so our sim brief menu is gonna be here. We'll zoom in a bit. So, we'll be departing runway 16, Vebby 4 Sierra departure. I'm gonna put that in. Departure, runway 16. Go down Vebby 4 Sierra. Insert. We'll have a listen to the ATIS. I've already got the ATIS frequency tuned in. We'll have a listen to the ATIS, and then we'll contact clearance and get our IFR clearance. So let's see.
QNH1023. VFR conditions. Landing runways 1428. Departing runways 16.
Okay, good.
32. Transition level 070. 5G notice in effect. Advise on initial contact you have information, Papa.
Okay, good. So that's everything we need from our ATIS. H1013, that's great. Didn't even have to write anything down. Expected there to be more interesting things. So let's set our clearance frequency 121 930. I should turn the other way. That will go faster. 121 930. This is Zurich delivery. We're stand Bravo 43. So what I'm gonna say, Let me just stand by. Okay, so usually before you say anything on the radio, you're just gonna think what are you gonna say and then you say it. So, wait, I have to set up my key binding real quick. I unbound that earlier. There we go. Zurich delivery, Swiss 28 Alpha, stand Bravo 43. Information Papa, request IFR clearance to Madeira. It's processing. There we go. Now it's gonna answer. Let me write everything down.
Swiss 28 Alpha, Zurich delivery. Thanks for information, Papa. Expect runway 16, Vebit 4 Sierra departure with the Vebit transition. Squawk 6350.
Expect runway 16 with the Vebit 4 Sierra transition. Correction with the Vebit 4 Sierra departure. Vebit transition. Squawk 6350 Swiss 28 Alpha. Okay.
Swiss 28 Alpha, readback correct. Contact ground 121.855 when ready for pushback or engine start.
We'll contact ground on 121.855 for push and start Swiss 28 Alpha. Thanks. So basically, ATC told us that we can, we're gonna depart with the departure that we've planned, with our planned departure.
Swiss 28 Alpha, Zurich apron, pushback and engine start approved.
Why?
West.
I didn't even request push and start. That's a bug. Disregard Swiss 28 Alpha. Cancel pushback. That was a bug. I didn't request push and starts. There we go. We cancelled our pushback. So, our aircraft is loaded. I kinda lost track of that. Fuel pumps on. APU master. We'll wait some time. There we go. That should be enough for a flap to open. Seatbelt signs on. Our APU is starting. We can see right here. We got a second load sheet, except that we gotta speed up a bit. So, send our weights to the MCDU. We'll run our takeoff performance calculations. What does it say? QNH 1023 here. I'm not quite sure. The ATIS at 1013. So apparently the ATIS was wrong. So QNH 1023. I might have to turn down the ATC volume a little bit because I'm not sure if it's going to be a bit too loud and you're not going to be able to understand me anymore. Oh, there we go. Now he's at information Quebec QNH 1023. So we'll go over to Navigraph charts. Our departure, the before Sierra. Our initial climb. What is our initial climb going to be? Initial climb clearance 5,000. That's great. Initial climb clearance 5,000. And airport info. There we go. Open our airport chart here. So, I'm pretty sure we got everything set that we really need. I'm gonna turn off external power because the ground power is gonna remove the ground power unit, and if they remove the ground power unit with the external power still on in the cockpit, then they can actually get an electrocution, electrical shock. Oh, flight directors should be on. What does it say? Speed select? That's weird. Did I not do my performance calculations? Yep, I didn't. Calculate. Send to the MCDU. There we go. Now this should be... everything should be correct. So we'll call for push and start now. What? Somebody else, I think, is yeah. The tower was saying something, so I have to wait until they're done. Zurich ground, Swiss 28 Alpha, stand Bravo 43 West, push and start. I forgot to set my squawk. What was our squawk? 6350. There we go. We'll set that. 6350. When are we gonna get the push and start clearance? Hello?
taxi via. Hold short runway 16, Edelweiss 3 Quebec Bravo.
Let's see, we should get our push clearance now.
Zurich Apron Swiss 28 Alpha, you are cleared to push back from stand 4 tree. Please make a taxi request on the appropriate frequency.
Roger, clear for push and start. So, push and start face west. That's that direction. So we'll pre-plan our pushback in
Zurich Apron Swiss 28
this thing. I forgot what it's called.
on the appropriate frequency for further instructions.
Not sure what Zurich Apron is out about. Go plan our pushback. Are we not on the correct frequency? Ground frequency 121 855. We're on 121 855, so
Golf, cross runway 28. Continue taxi via.
because ground is a bit mad at us, so okay.
Cross runway 28.
So
Continue taxi via. Hold short
I'll press. I got a key binding assigned to request pushback. So Alt P. There we go, and we'll request pushback here as well.
Edelweiss 3 Quebec
We're gonna wait for the pushback crew to connect to our aircraft.
runway 16.
Cross runway 16.
So they should be connected at any moment. Usually takes some time in the pushback tug in MSFS, the default pushback tug, but it's connected now. So release parking brake and start our push. Okay. So once we're clear of that line, we can start our engine. So a lot of people think that in the A320, you start engine 2 first and then you start engine 1. But Airbus actually changed the SOP, the standard operating procedures. Now you start engine 1 first and then you start engine 2. So that's, yeah, that's a difference. So we're gonna be clear in a second. So I'm gonna set this to ignition start. I wait for everything to come on. Usually you wait 10 seconds and then you initiate the engine start. Let me check here. Okay, we'll use a flaps 2 departure. Good to know. And I actually wanted to use the checklists, but I completely forgot to use the checklist. So cockpit preparation checklist, gear pins and covers removed, fuel quantity. 12,740 kilos, seatbelts on, ADIRS is nav, bar ref, both QNH 1023. Before start checklist, parking brake, it's in the appropriate position, takeoff speeds, why is it giving us a traffic advisory? Takeoff speeds, usually when you get interrupted during a procedure, you restart. So, parking brake is in the appropriate position. Takeoff speeds and thrust. Set. Let me check here. V1 142, VR 144, V2 147. And beacon light. Beacon light is on now. That's why you should do checklists. And we're still pushing back. Okay, our pushing back is done. We'll set the parking brake again. So we'll wait for engine 2 to finish starting up. Okay. Should be good any second now. Available. We'll set flaps 2 on this. Auto braking max. APU is coming off. And we'll call for taxi. So I'll open my notepad to get ready. Zurich Apron Swiss 28 Alpha request taxi to runway 16. Let's see, I'm probably gonna get the taxi at own discretion.
Swiss 28 Alpha.
Roger.
16, taxi at pilot's discretion.
Yep, at my own discretion. Taxi to runway 16 at my own discretion, Swiss 28 Alpha. So we'll turn on, actually we'll do the flight control check first. So we'll do it the correct way.
28 Alpha, hold position for traffic.
Telling us to hold position, okay. Holding position, Swiss 28 Alpha. So flight control check. Full up. Full down. You only call full up, full down, full left, full right once the flight control surfaces actually reach full deflection. So we'll go full left, full right, neutral, and now the rudder. You want to move the rudder really slowly, otherwise it can actually cause a banging in the rear of the cabin. So really slowly, rudder full left, rudder full right, neutral. So we'll go into after start checklist. So anti-ice is as required, 15 degrees plus. SAT is above 40 degrees, so yeah. ECAM status checked. Pitch trim will do prediction, and CG 27.9. Our trim is already, that's good enough. Pitch trim 27.9 degrees. Rudder trim. Rudder trim is neutral. After start checklist complete. Taxi checklist. Flight control check completed. Flap setting. Flaps to set. Radar and predictive wind shear. We'll set that later. Engine mode selector. Normal. ECAM memo. We'll do the we'll do that, and we'll wait for the cabin to become ready. And what the hell? No, I swear to God, this glitch always happens at Zurich. Another airplane comes here and wants to taxi through, but and we're both stuck. So basically, the ATC should tell this guy to hold until I come out. But yeah. So basically, the only thing we can do now to resolve this conflict, we gotta taxi through him. So we'll taxi to runway 16 at pilot's discretion. 16 is over there, so we'll taxi down there and across the runway. Hyper realistic experience.
Swiss 28 Alpha, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Swiss 28 Alpha. So usually I like to turn on my weather radar. The earliest you can turn them on is when you leave the apron area, because the weather radar actually it emits some not so healthy radiation, so the ground crew would not appreciate you turning on the weather radar. And that's the cabin. I always get annoyed when they call. Thanks. Okay, the cabin is now secured for a takeoff. So. Beacon light. We should set that to the auto position while taxiing. So, we're gonna set the beacon light to the on position once we cross runway 28. It's right over there, runway 28. And since we're doing short haul operations, we can taxi a bit quicker. I'm used to flying a lot of wide bodies. I do a whole lot of long haul flights, so I'm used to taxiing wide bodies, which is why I usually taxi something like 50 knots maximum, which is why I completely forgot that we're doing short haul today. Actually, I guess Madeira is not short haul, more like medium haul, because it's 4 hours. I'm definitely gonna simulate the flight though. So beacon strobe lights coming on to cross the runway. I completely forgot to ask for a runway crossing.
Continue taxi via.
Cross runway Swiss 28 Alpha. I completely forgot to ask for a runway crossing, dude. I was so busy talking to you guys. So we're finished crossing the runway.
Runway 28.
Cross runway 28 Swiss 28 Alpha. So we finished crossing the runway, so we'll set the strobe light back to on, correction, to auto.
Cross runway 28.
Cross runway 28, Swiss 28 Alpha. There we go, finally. Are there some A340s parked over there? Not sure if this can actually inject A340s because I haven't seen a single A340 at Zurich. And usually there's a bunch of A340s at here. Haven't seen a single A340, not even sure if it can inject A340s. And if you've been at Zurich, you know that there's a bunch of A340s. A340s are pretty rare, but not at Zurich. We'll brake a bit. There we go, 20 knots for this turn here, should be good. It's not that easy to taxi this plane at such a high speed. Let's get some wing views going. Nice. Yeah, this wing view is even better. Set this as my new wing view. One window to the front. There we go. So that we can see the spinner. Such a shame that the spinner in the inner-build A350 is completely broken. It looks extremely weird. So, on a contact tower, pretty sure ground should think about giving me the tower frequency. So I'll turn on my weather radar. Get my transponder to TARA. Zurich apron, Swiss 28 Alpha, request. Okay.
Contact Zurich Tower 118.1.
Okay, read my mind.
Tower on 118.1.
Tower 118.1, Swiss 28 Alpha. I'm gonna take a turn while selecting the frequency. 118.1. There we go. Zurich Tower, Swiss 28 Alpha, holding short runway 16, request takeoff. Let's see. I don't want to stop the plane, come on.
Swiss 28 Alpha, Zurich Tower, wind 020.
Okay, good.
Runway 16, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for runway, cleared for takeoff, runway 16, Swiss 28 Alpha. I actually left my taxi light off for the whole taxi. So, takeoff checklist. Lineup. Takeoff runway. Runway 16 identified. TCAS set packs 1 and 2 as required. Okay. There's no takeoff checklist. I usually never do these checklists. I'm only doing it for good measure because I'm recording the video. But I should definitely start a habit of doing the checklists. So, we'll come to stop and
Swiss 5 Charlie Lima, exit right next available.
we'll stabilize this thrust at 50%. Wait for the engines to spool up.
Taxiway, Swiss 5 Charlie Lima.
Okay. Release parking brake and
Zurich Tower, Swiss
flex power. There we go.
ILS runway 14.
Manflex 57 SRS runway auto thrust blue.
Swiss 2 Papa Alpha, Zurich Tower, continue.
This is a really interesting departure here. 80 knots. Now we're in the high speed regime of the takeoff roll. V1. Rotate. There we go. We're up.
Charlie Lima, monitor ground
Positive vertical climb. Gear up.
55.
Beautiful. And now we'll do a left turn. A left turn here and then departure. Really, really cool.
Swiss 358 Hotel. Exit right next available taxiway. Exit right next available taxiway.
Thrust reduction. Thrust climb. Disarm grout spoilers.
Swiss 2 Papa Alpha. Wind 020 at 7. Runway 14 cleared to land. Runway 14 cleared to land. Swiss 2 Papa Alpha.
Let's see. Okay, we don't need anti-ice.
Swiss 28 Alpha. Contact Zurich departure 125.955.
Zurich departure 125.955 Swiss 28 Alpha. Let's tune the frequency 125.955. Zurich departure, good day. Swiss 28 Alpha, climbing through 4,500 feet, good day.
Swiss 28 Alpha, Zurich departure, identified. Climb to flight level 170.
I'm flight level 170, Swiss 28 Alpha. So if you were wondering why I set the altitude before he actually told me, that's because I have the ATC menu open on my other monitor and I can see everything that he's about to say, so yeah. That's why. I'm gonna turn on the autopilot and I'll reduce flaps. Beautiful. Beautiful departure here. Oh, I didn't turn on constraints. Constraints on, there we go. So, let's see, so we got traffic here. Now that usually I do this on my initial climb out. I'll head over to my here we go, Narek 370. I'll climb my step climbs. There we go, step outs. 370 at Narak. Where's the K? Here we go. Insert that. Now let's zoom all the way out. Okay. We'll pull, set standard pressure. We're actually really slow. I might have to extend the flaps again. Just the slats, actually. And now we're accelerating to 250 knots. Okay, we'll retract the slats now. Oh, wrong view. Here we go. Now you can see the slats going in. Nice. Let's get our sunshade. So, passing 10,000 feet any second. There we go, passing 10,000. Oh, it's glitching a bit. Okay. Oh, passing 10,000, we'll get the landing lights off. Seatbelt signs off. And I'll get the sunshades down. So, there really isn't much left for me to do. By the way, if you're wondering, this is my dog. Her name's Sarah. No, not Sarah. Sarah. Sorry. So, what I'm gonna do, I'll set up the camera in a way that it, for a nice time lapse, something like this. I don't know. What is a nice camera position for a time lapse? Yeah, this looks okay. Huh. I'm just gonna do this camera position. So, actually like this so that I can access the MCDU during the time lapse. Man, jeez. I'm having trouble finding a nice position. There we go. This looks good. Zoom out a bit. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn on the time acceleration. Right here. Where can I do that? Maintenance, there you go. 2x speed. Okay, 2x speed. I might accelerate to 4x speed later. So I'll time-lapse everything, speed up the video, and see you at top of descent. Hello, test. So I'm back after the time lapse. Not sure if you guys can hear me. Anyways, sorry, I was a bit AFK. I missed the 10,000 feet, so let's do everything of this. Get our lights on. Hello. Seatbelt signs. So basically, our approach was planned for runway 23. Let me just show you. So they planned us, Simbrief planned us to go straight in, land runway 23, which would give us 9 knots of headwind. But I figured that's not interesting. The actual interesting approach is this approacher. You turn over. Let me just here you come in, right turn, and then you land on runway 05. It's way more interesting. So that's the approach we're going to be doing today. Even though we're going to be having a 9 knot tailwind. I did the landing performance calculations. It told us that we need all braking power. So I already set up most of the FMS. You probably saw that on the time lapse. Just open our charts here. Man, it keeps pinning the charts. That's pretty annoying. Keeps pinning the charts I don't even want pinned. Here, RMP Bravo. What? No, that's the wrong one. It's not letting me scroll. Why is it not letting me scroll through the charts? Okay, here. This is the chart we need. The important chart. Go around altitude is 3000. That's all we need to know. Oh, I think that's that's Madeira right over there. We might be a bit too high. I'll just go open descent mode. So this is pretty interesting. I'm gonna get the terrain radar on. Oh, what was the QNH? 1010 on the QNH. 1010. I'm gonna show you guys a nice, pretty cool thing. Not sure if you guys have seen this. AOC menu. Weather request. Enter the ICAO code of our airport. LPMA. Enter. METAR. Oh, what? I don't know what that does. Send. Return. Received messages. We're gonna get the METAR right in here. Weather data, we just got it. So, we have the METAR in our MCDU. That's pretty cool. So, 17 degrees. QNH 1010. Winds, 210 at 8 knots. And, yep. That's all we need to know. Let's configure our aircraft. Oops. Gear down. Is our gear coming down? Yep. I completely lost track of everything. We are not visual yet. We're not visual with the runway. That's not a good sign. Definitely not a good sign. We are configuring a bit late. Flaps 2. Look at that. Awesome. I'll get these speed brakes back in and arm them. Nice. This is really cool. Love it. I really just want to get configure the airplane. There we go. We're going flaps full. There we go. I'm gonna get my joystick ready for autopilot disconnect. Not sure if I should disconnect the auto throttle or leave it in. We'll see. If the auto throttle has having some trouble, then we'll disconnect it. But I'm probably gonna keep it in, so that I forgot what I want to say. I completely forgot what I wanted to say. Anyways, let's get the chart open here. Usually, when I start my approach, I start replay mode, and I start up the screen recorder, but it's already running, so no need to do that. I'm definitely a bit high. I just want to arm the localizer. Get on the glide slope, sorry, not the localizer. Approach. Arm the approach mode. Oop, we overshot that. So, arm these spoilers. Okay, let's see. I hope it's gonna capture the glider. What am I saying? Glider? No, the glide slope. Let's see. Is it gonna capture the glide slope? I'm not sure. Otherwise, we'll just have to. There we go. It captured it. So, we'll set our go around altitude. Terrain ahead. Don't worry. Don't worry. That's okay. Okay, I'm disconnecting the autopilot. Gonna go visual. I'm on the visual. I can see the runway. Actually, let's stay let's stay focused on our PFD until we have the runway in sight in our view right here, because I don't want to be moving around my camera view on final approach. Although I might have to do that. Yeah. I absolutely love how the A320 flies. It's probably the best flying Airbus of all. I don't know why. The A350, I don't know. I don't like how it flies. It's super reactive, really small inputs. I think the A320 flies really well. And the A330, dude. Jesus, you gotta fly an A330. The input delay is crazy. It's like really sluggish, but I really like it too. Okay, so we're a bit high on the PAPs, so I'll descend. I'm going fully visual. Completely visual. Let's see. Yep, the auto brakes are set. Sometimes they disengage. I just forget to set them. So this is the interesting Madeira approach, not the boring Madeira approach. Captain's landing only. Very cool. Above the minimums. We'll have our minimums call out any second. Fully visual on the runway. I'm not looking at my displays. Okay, sterile cockpit. I'm not going to talk anymore. Beautiful, full reversers. Nice, the nose wheel came down really smoothly. I'll stay in full reverse. Okay, and idle reversers. Okay, manual braking. We stopped easily. We stopped with ease. Even with a 9-knot tailwind. That was real easy for Airbus, but I'm gonna get the brake fans on anyways. Because the brake temperature is still low right now, but it's gonna shoot up. So let's get a nice wing view. Is this wing view better? No, I prefer this wing view. Let's get the spoilers in, flaps up. Nice. So let's see, I have static traffic on. Is that a Finnair? Okay, I thought it was a Finnair A350. I might have to turn down the static traffic because I'm not sure if we have a gate available to us over there. I use Beyond ATC's static traffic. It's pretty nice. Because then you don't feel alone at your airports anymore. So, engine anti-icing, taxi lights. APU is coming on as well. There we go. Weather radar, very important, gotta get that off. And I completely forgot to use the approach checklists. So after landing checklist complete, okay. I'll get our airport charts open. Airport navigation charts. We don't need these, they're very simple. So we'll get into our recam. Let's see, do we have a single spot here? Nope. I mean, we have space here, but I'd like to park somewhere over here. Maybe if we can get this 737 to disappear, I can park in between these planes. So let me open Beyond ATC. I'm gonna turn down the traffic, by the way, if you were wondering why we didn't have ATC on the arrival. Basically, it didn't let me choose runway 05 because it was not an active runway, because it had a tailwind. So I just logged off the ATC, turn off the ATC. Oh, now all the traffic is gone, dude. Oh, come on. I still want some traffic. Is it good now? Come on, come back, dude. Jeez. have to put it up to 6 again. Hello? This should not happen, dude. It's pretty annoying because it takes some time for the traffic to come up and everything. So the traffic map is telling me that we have traffic here. Oh. Maybe it's just not loading in for me. Maybe we have a issue. Oh, there we go. Now they're here. But now every spot is taken again. Come on. I want to park at this gate. Put it up, crank it down by 1. Now everything is gone. Okay. I guess we're just gonna park not at the gate, man. That's weird. Traffic is still not here. Okay. So let's start rolling. Our brake temperature only 75 degrees. I expected it to be higher. There we go. Now the traffic is back. Oh, turn on the first officer's side. I'm gonna turn that off. Everything looks alright. I'll park left of that Finnair A321, I believe. Is that an A321? Definitely looks like an A321. Might be an A320 though. So we'll turn left into ramp Alpha 11, Alpha 13, Alpha 12, Alpha 11 over there. I hope we're gonna have enough clearance, wing clearance. Yeah, that should be alright. Okay, we'll turn left here. Yeah, I think our wings are not gonna strike. So we don't have a marshaller? No marshaller at all? Yeah, no, we definitely have enough clearance on our wings. So we don't have a marshaller, so I'm just gonna try to judge it as best as I can and try to get it stopped on one of the lines. Okay, idle power. Let's see. Bring in some braking. I'm too fast. 2 knots, this is good. So probably I'm gonna get the white line somewhere below my nose. And bring it to a stop now. There we go, smooth as butter, like my landing. Let's see, how did I do on my parking? Oh, that's actually really nice. So engine 2 off, engine 1 off, APU bleed off, beacon lights off, taxi lights off, seatbelt signs off, fuel pumps coming off as well. We'll wait for our engines to spool down. We just got a new company message. I'll go clear that. Received messages, arrival message. Arrival 1850 Zulu. So I'll go back to the home screen. And the board. I'll get the stairs, the forward stairs. I don't think we need rear stairs either. So, doors 1 left is coming open. There we go. So, we'll get out of the plane. A really nice thing about the Fenix A320. The stairs here, they actually work. You can walk up these stairs. I really like this. Okay, let's get back in and let's look at our landing rate. Oops. There we go. So this is Volanta. It's a free flight tracker, and it shows you your landing rate. 355 feet per minute isn't great, but hey, this is Madeira, so it definitely looked smoother than 355, so I'm not sure if this is accurate. I'm definitely happy with my landing. I think it was pretty good. And yeah, I don't think there's much more to do with this video, so we completed our whole flight from Zurich to Madeira. So I want to thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.